I welcome you to the pre-placement training program, and we shall discuss all important aspects about how to face interview. Now let's start with what is an interview, why it is conducted, what is the importance of interview. So in general, it is called as a professional conversation, and it is done with a purpose to identify a right candidate. Look at these words. These are the highlighted words, like these highlighted words: professional conversation, purpose, and right candidate. So they come with a purpose. They simply don't travel a huge distance, about 500 600 kilometers, just to have some conversation and go. And that will be a professional conversation, and they come with the purpose of selection of right candidate. What do you mean by right candidate? Here is a small example. Every company has got their own expectation in terms of their processes, in terms of their products and all. They aspire to have some qualities to be there in the candidate who can become prospect employees, and they can bank on them. So they need to identify a right candidate. So to identify right candidate, first 2 rounds they have already done, and now it is like carefully they want to verify whether this candidate suits to our vision and mission of the company or not. This is why this conversation is done. So interview is a professional conversation. So again, what else is done in interview is employer test candidates' honesty and credibility. They want to check like how honest a candidate is and their reliability, whether like a candidate will sustain in our process or not. See, you need to understand one thing. Selection process, why do they so particular? Once the candidate is selected, they have to invest so much of time and money on a candidate to make that person workforce, okay, to make that person accountable for the project what they have taken. For example, see how much amount of money is involved. Number one, HRs have to travel to your location from their location. That costs them their travel, their food, and their stay. Once it is done, you are selected, then your all documentation work and your ID card generation, everything will take place. Then you are asked to come and join. So your travel is taken care now. Again, once it is done, like your selection is done, now you will be put into the training process. Company to company, process to process, duration of training differs. Some companies like sales and marketing, they can't invest more time in just training student within the 4 walls. What do they believe is ground training, like on ground training, what we call on job training, they call it as. So 1 day training program about the companies, about the product they conduct, and they immediately next day they ask the candidates to start working. Whereas other companies, they extend their training for 3 days, 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, month, 3 months, 6 months, and up to 1 year. There are some companies who offer training program. When they offer training program for 1 week or 15 days, just try to understand, you are asked to travel to a training location, training venue, where your travel cost, your stay for 15 days, your food, trainers travel, trainers food, material cost, everything, and along with this your salary has to be paid, and everything is invested now just to make sure that you will be a reliable candidate for them. So they don't want to take risk of choosing the wrong candidate who just say yes to the job now and immediately quit the job after 10-15 days or a month time. So they want to check the honesty and the credibility. Both personal and professional details about candidate will be discussed. Okay. Again, we have already discussed. There will be some more discussion. We shall have it in the further slides about like to what extent a candidate can reveal the personal details, or where the candidate can say that I cannot discuss, I cannot say anything on this. So there will be definitely a discussion on personal as well as professional details. Let's start with professional details and come to personal details. Professional details, in your case as a final year students of master graduate, that is your MBA or other any courses, what it will be considered as your all schools and college work is considered as professional experiences. Very few of you might be having work experiences, otherwise you will be a fresher, so you don't have work experience. Then Your college activities are considered as professional activities, and you are supposed to furnish all the details where you have involved, you have participated, achieved something. Everything you have to discuss. When it comes to personal detail, see, now the clarification what employer requires is on your personal ability, like as a person what you are, like they want to know you more and more, so that they want to eliminate all sort of doubts so that they can make a proper selection. It's like you have gone to shop to purchase a cloth. So we shall go in detail, like even like for some electronics and all, there is always written warranty is written on the box. Still we tend to ask, like, sir, like what is a warranty, like warranty claim karne ke liye kahan par aana padega, do we have to come here and all. We get that clarity, so we have seen it on the box. There are so many features written on the box and the paper what they give along with that product. So what we do is we get that cross check done. Same thing what when we go to purchase a cloth, we discuss about like about the color, about the texture, everything we discuss, just to have that clarity. Similarly, as you don't have more professional experience, they want to judge you based on your personal attributes, like how do you, like what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, how do you handle your criticism, everything they just want to know, so that they will anticipate, like, okay, this candidate in this situation, okay, he can or she can manage. They just want to have that projection and foreseeing. For that they need these details, personal as well as professional. There is always a boundary for your personal data sharing. You should be professional enough to say no when that line is crossed. And trust me, no HR will cross that line, because they know where the limitation is. So it is a professional conversation to identify right candidate, and it will be checked, like they will check your honesty, credibility, and the discussion is on your personal and professional information. And what else? What else we call it as interview? This is one important line I would like to highlight on. That is, interview is a selection process, not the rejection process. When it comes to interview, when I with students who are appearing for interview, what I generally get to know is they fear a lot. They have that panic, like they are so afraid of that word interview. They consider that, sir, mera nahi hoga, sir. Like I don't think I'll be clearing it. See, it is not, they travel, they put all efforts to come and reject. When we have a plan to purchase a cloth, we go with the mindset of purchasing cloth. Okay, only when we reject that particular cloth is it has got some damage, or it doesn't suit to our expectation. Everything is fine, color, texture, every price is in our budget, everything is fine, but we did not find a right size. We have to reject it. Similarly, the rejection only happens when they find lack of skills, lack of commitment, and lack of knowledge, and some major aspect is attitude. That's what in all my previous sessions, what I have focused more on is like work on the attitude, because rest everything can be learned with the help of some activities or something, but attitude is something very, very, very important, which cannot be easily learned. In simple word, if I want to explain you what how attitude can be defined, is like it is a manifestation of thought processes. What thoughts you put inside, that manifests out as an attitude. I have made a video on this attitude. It is there in my YouTube. You can just go back and check if at all you have time and patience. I can give you one simple example to understand why people so much put stress on being positive or being at right attitude. It's a very simple example. You think that you have a lemon in your hand. You squeeze lemon, you get lemon juice. You have mango in your hand, squeeze mango, you get mango juice. This is but obvious. There is no rocket science. But have you ever seen squeezing lemon and getting mango? Not possible at all. That's very simple thing. What is there inside that shell, like that skin of that fruit, that only comes out when the pressure is applied. Very simple. Even school-going kids can easily understand this. Similarly, what goes inside, what is there inside, should only come out when the pressure is applied, when we are at some situation, when people put us into some situation. Then when life puts pressure on us, or the work place puts pressure on us, what is there inside will come out. Garbage in, garbage out. So if at all you always keep feeding positive mindset, like positive thoughts and all, it always, positive thoughts become positive words become positive actions become your positive attitude. This is how. And always, no matter how much how much situation put you into a pressure or anything goes wrong, you still tend to behave positive. Otherwise everything dumped negative inside, okay, negative inside, and a little pressure on it and negative only comes out. That's what the approach of ours, that's what from the first session of mine, campus to corporate, what I'm trying to insist to every one of you is like the attitude is one of the most important attribute what any employee for. If the attitude is right, rest everything is average, still they are okay to take you because that other aspects can be trained. But this is something what you carry from last 20-24 years. So you are responsible for your attitude. So with these 4 lines, what we have understood is before facing any interview, the most important thing is you should know yourself rather knowing the word. Definitely knowing word is also important because there will be 1 or 2 questions on general aspect, 1 or 2 questions on your subject, okay. Otherwise, out of 10, 6 questions will be asked on yourself. So you should better know yourself. What are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your hobbies, like how do you handle criticism. There have been some failures not in the sense like failed in examination. There are some tasks which we could not perform. How did you come out of it? All these kind of questions will be asked in interviews, and you have to be prepared. It is not like going and sitting in front of HR and for every question of them giving a blank explain and sit and start thinking about that question on that moment is very wrong. You have to go prepared. When it is war, you have to be prepared. It is something like war because you are going and proving yourself. When you are supposed to prove yourself, you have to present yourself as the best material. Then only you will be selected. So know yourself, and these are the important things, and this can be defined as interview. So interview, I don't give you a simple definition. It is like a collection of all these thoughts. So know yourself, know about your past, or what has happened in your school days and your college days, about your self introduction, about your resume, everything together you are representing. Okay, so this is what is interview. Now the question will be like, what are the types of interviews? What kind of interviews they may conduct? As we have different formats of group discussion, similarly we have different format of conducting personal round interviews. Though there are many formats of conducting interviews, there are 10, 12. I've only picked up 4 basic categories. Otherwise, I'll give you 1 or 2 examples right now, and I'll take you to the categories in the next slide. There are something called as over the cup of coffee, you will have your interview done. With lunch or dinner, you will be having your interview done. These are like looks very casual, but most of the time these things happen. But these things will not happen for the freshers. That you need to understand. These are the things going to happen when you have some 10-12 years of experience and you're one of the best performers and good performers in your organization, and you have got an invitation from other companies. Okay, and they invite you, like it is not typical interview where you walk in, give your group discussion attitude, wait for your turn, walk inside with your resume, nothing like that. So here is something what the employer knows about you, and you are a performer and they want to hire you, and for that they will call you for the meeting. It is not a kind of interview, though it is an interview, but the things are very different. Like sitting with a cup of coffee or sitting for a coffee meet, and maybe so 15-20 minutes, the first question may not be like tell about yourself, because they know about you. So what is that they do is like they just want to tell you like, Mr. So-and-so, can you just tell us what is that you have done in last 12 years, like what is the current designation you have, what are the challenges, how do you face it. Okay, once you explain everything, then there will be a question that how about you joining us. Okay, then the salary negotiation, other parts, everything will come into picture. Here it is kind of a casual conversation, but it will be having certain what is that I can say is purpose. Like it is like they cannot ask a experienced candidate to perform interview like a fresher. So there are different categories of interviews that only you will be facing when you have 10 years of experience. Definitely, in future you will be having such interviews, and you will enjoy that because you will be in a demanding position. Now, as a fresher, you cannot just say that let's not have an interview here, so let us go to coffee day and let us sit and have a discussion. That cannot be done. That can be done only when you perform and prove that you are a worth material to invited for such kind of an interviews. Otherwise, these are four different rounds of interview for you, my dear friends. Number one to one panel round interview. Third is telephonic, and fourth is online interviews. Let's understand quickly on this what these are and how these interviews are conducted. As name suggests, one to one, it will be like offline interviews where you will be reaching interview venue and you will be waiting for your turn and you will give your interview. HR will be there. The one person will take interview to one candidate, one at a time. So this is one to one. Okay. Second is panel. Panel is somewhere 3 or 4 people take interview. Here is quite interesting thing you should know. Sometimes what we believe is the 4 HRs sit together and they take interview. Not the 4 HRs. See, one HR is taking interview, that is one to one. 4 same HR, same designated HR taking interview doesn't make much difference. That will only happen only when they come here for your college campus interviews, or other 3 HRs are done with their interviews. They're free now. They just come, pull the chair and sit. That is very rare it happens. Otherwise, the panel interview is something different, where you will find people. One is from HR, one is from that product team, one is from management side, another is from other departments, somewhere related where you will be working. So experienced people from different departments will sit and take the interview. So they want to clarify their own clarities. Like they'll be having their own expectations. Then these 4 from different departments, they come, sit. Management person will ask questions related to management, and that product department will ask the product questions, and HR will ask their own questions. This is how the panel round interview happens. So you need to be very confident in answering all the questions. You need to be very the important thing is you need to understand question very carefully and you have to answer. Generally, it is seen that it is done for when you have some 3-4 years of experience, and generally you are put across these panel round interviews. Otherwise, just be ready. Telephonic. Telephonic is something like you will be interviewed by the HR or telephone. Same thing like one to one, but only difference is the HR will not be sitting in front of you. Rest everything will remain. Next is online interview. Mostly this is going to happen for you this year. So HRs will be at their own places. You will be sitting in front of the system, and they will have these video call through video call like Skype or Zoom, other platform. They will interact with you and they will conduct interviews. Okay. Now, whatever the format it may be, whether it is one-to-one or panel or telephonic or online, as I said it in the group discussion, no matter what format they conduct the group discussion, when you are ready with the content, you should deliver. Similarly, when you are confident, when you have known about yourself, when you are prepared for yourself, then no matter whether it is telephonic, online, one-to-one or panel, you should be delivering your presentation or your interview in a very confident way. So don't be worried about what kind of a setup they will be giving you. What you should be worried is you should be prepared before you even enter group discussion, interview processes. So this is what the different types of interviews we generally come across. Okay. Now, as in group discussion, we have had a big list. Group discussion, we had a big list what qualities will be identified. Similarly, what qualities they look for, what qualities in a candidate they look at. If we get to know those qualities, it will be helpful for us to work on that. So let us understand one by one. Number 1, confidence. Okay. That's what I said. Tell you, the way you walk, the way you sit, and the way you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening decides 70% of the selection or rejection. Everything that will be like your confidence is measured, right? So your confidence in terms of walking inside, in terms of sitting inside, also in terms of sitting outside. Also, there will be two places you will be sitting. One is in front of HR giving your interview, and there is another place where you will be waiting outside, like outside the interview hall, where there are some 8 or 10 chairs place. You're asked to wait there. Also, the way you're sitting, that also matters. And please understand, generally what we see is many people think that only my behavior is noticed inside the interview hall. Sorry, that whenever HRs travel, they travel in a team, 3-4 people, they travel together. Not all 4 will sit and take interviews. There will be one person out of that 4 will be coordinating with the 3. Okay, and that person will keep like walking, like hopping into different rooms of interview happening. Generally, that person will be paying more attention on students who are sitting outside and what they are doing, how they are sitting, what they are doing, like how their behavior is, all like everything will be noticed. Please understand, there will be a lot of observation done on you, because they just want to know. See, when you get selected and if you get a chance to meet and interact with your clients, that is your key role in your job. So definitely when you are in front of your client, you will be behaving professionally, but also your behavior is judged. How do you wait outside in the client's place? How do you behave in the parking lot? Everything will be decided, like judged, because if something goes wrong, company's reputation go wrong. So that's what they pay more attention on, everything. So you need to be confident outside, you need to be confident inside. You need to walk with a confidence, you need to sit with a confidence, and you need to have a conversation with the confidence. So confidence is the key, number 1. Number 2, honesty. There are some time in your interview where you don't know the answers. Obvious, it is not compulsory that all the 10 questions, for example, if 10 questions are asked, not all the 10 should be answered. If you know all the 10, fine, well and fine. Okay. If you don't know 1 or 2 questions, it is always good to say with a very polite tone that I'm sorry, sir, I don't know, but definitely I would like to know on this once I go out. So you need to be honest in telling about yourself. Otherwise, these people are trained and experienced people to identify the qualities of people. They are doing this process from last 4-5 years. It is a very simple task to identify your skills, your strengths, and your weaknesses. Okay. Still, they try. They what do? They do is they give one option for the candidates to confess it. Okay. If we are very honest, that becomes very easy for both of us to understand each other. Otherwise, if you see, interview is a very simple process. It only becomes complicated when I make it complicated. When I don't narrate my strengths, when I don't narrate my weaknesses, then things go complicated. It is always good to be honest. Then, knowledge. Whether it is resume building, whether it is group discussion, whether it is aptitude, or in the interview, knowledge plays a very huge role. Knowledge is something, right, about yourself. It is knowledge about the facts happened outside is knowledge, about your subject, knowledge everywhere. So knowledge in the group discussion, what we call it as content. Here it is about you and things around you. You need to be specific, you need to be accurate, and you need to be on to the point you should be talking. Presence of mind. Okay, this is something very, very interesting and very important quality they look at. There are some students who are very serious in their life, and they similarly perform in the group discussion and their interviews. So it is not all the time your intelligence comes into picture or comes for your like saving your situation. Most of the time your presence of mind will help you to come out of the situation. Maybe something has gone wrong during the presentation in front of your client or something, but your presence of mind will definitely help to ease the things. It may not solve, but ease the things and may give you one more opportunity. So this one quality is always required. and understand there will be a lot of tricky questions to check your presence of mind. Also, they will test your behavior by asking such questions. How do you behave? Like there are some questions like if you become invisible for a day, what is your plan? Okay, see, it is obvious that nobody will become invisible. We don't have that Mr. India kind of that watch where I turn the knob and I become invisible. But it's a tricky question. It's a creative question. What is that you want to do? That opportunity. That is purely a presence of mind. And people are ask like answer some very foolish answer like, sir, I'll go and bring all the black money to India. Hey, you are invisible for just a day. Do you know where it is hidden? You're just invisible. You don't have any other powers. How would you get to know that they are hidden there? And how would you get them back? Right? Answering these see, this is something you need to be very, very, very diplomatic in answering these kind of questions. That only comes with your presence of mind. Okay? So you need to it's not that's what. It's not always you need to be very serious in interviews. You need to be very relaxed and calm so that you can listen to questions very properly and you can answer. And there are no right or wrong answers for these kind of questions. They just want to check what is your approach on that. Okay. Now, openness to learn and openness to express. Okay, how better you express, how better you show interest to learn. These are the two utmost qualities they look at. They want candidates who show interest in learning things. People who show that I know everything, mujhe sab kuch malum hai, they don't need it. They just discard you. Also, they want people who can express comfortably. Okay, there are so many things which they want you to express. Okay, that will make a good candidate into a good employee. Learning and expressing. That is, you should have that openness. Next is skills. Obviously, we have discussed it from first session of campus to corporate. Everywhere, skills are important. To get, we need skills. To be in the job, to retain that job, we need skills. So what skills, what relevant skills you have for this role? They want to know. Next is adaptability. The quality which is very, very important. No matter which background you have come from, what is your family position, what is financial condition, what kind of a upbringing you have had all these years, last 23, 24 years, what kind of environment you have brought in. It is like immaterial when it comes to adaptability factor, because they expect you to be absolutely adaptable for the new situation, because even you will not be knowing what situation, in which situation will be putting into. Similarly, what has happened with us, entire world, this pandemic, nobody were prepared for this, correct? Now, everybody have to get adapted to this new normal is like online classes. Similarly, that adaptability has to come. Otherwise, we will not grow or we will not sustain. I cannot just sit and tell you that no, I have paid fees. I want offline classes. I want doubt clearing class. I will come to college. It is not going to happen. That adaptability is very much required, especially when it comes to job. You need to get adapted to the new situation, new workplace, new team, new processes, because every now and then, every once in 3 months or 6 months, they keep changing the policy processes of the company. So you cannot just like you have been through a training of 15 days and you just understood the old process, and suddenly some changes made in the management and they say we are bringing new policy. You just cannot say that no sir, I have spent 15 days, I cannot spend more time and working on that. That you don't have that option. That adaptability should come. So this is something which is tested. Challenging mindset. That's what they want to hear it from you, from your activities like extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, where you have challenged somebody, challenged yourself. See, challenged yourself is like you have managed your studies, also you have managed other activities. Challenge someone because it is a competition, you have to challenge others. So they want somebody who can take up a task and finish it. They want like people like those who can be champions, so that company will be into profitability. It is something which you grow, hence company grows. So company's growth is directly proportional to your growth. So they want people who are proactive, They can take risks, they can take challenges, and they can outperform. That's what this mindset of challenging mindset is required. And this quality will be tested in your interview. And finally, the most important and my favorite quality, that is right attitude. Right attitude. That's what I have insisted so much on that, and I'll quote you one or two other examples, like how important it is, like what kind of a questions. Even sometimes they ask you some weird questions. You don't even understand why this question is asked. Okay, to start with, I'll give you my own example when I was giving my interview to HDFC Standard Life Insurance. A little background, while when I was giving that interview, I'd already given 2 SSB interviews, that is Indian Army SSB interviews. For your information, these interviews corporate interview run for 8 or 10 minutes. When it comes to Indian Army or Defense Services SSB interview, that runs for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Okay, they test you, they grill you in all the way to identify those officers like qualities. I've given 2 SSB interviews. That means I was confident enough. Prior to that, I already worked for 2 organizations. So I had a good amount of confidence to face interviews. So my first 2 or 3 rounds of interview was done at Hubli itself, and it was my final round of interview with the regional manager, as I was into that retail sale profile. So I was asked to reach Bangalore to meet a regional manager for the final round interview. As on that day, when they had asked me to meet a regional manager, they had some conference, and it was organized in one of the star hotels. So the venue and time given to me was that so and so hotel, and at 11 o'clock I was supposed to be there. 11 to 11:15 was their coffee tea break, and during that I was I had to give my short interview to the regional manager. So I was there before the given time. I was in the lobby, I was waiting, and it was a tea break. 11 o'clock, a gentleman walked and asked me to take the chair. So we both were sitting with the coffee in the hand. I was like expecting, as I had only 2 job interviews where my job experience together was somewhere 9 months, not more than that. So I was like expecting, like I was like planning to take my file folder, all my resume, all my documents, everything that was going in my mind, and my self introduction, everything was going in my mind. But I was shocked when I was asked 2 questions. First question, the gentleman said, Praveen, can you remove your footwear? I would like to see your socks. The second question was, would you mind to show your wallet? Okay. So I had to remove my footwear and I had to show him my socks. Like I said, दिखाना था. Next, wallet, निकाल के देना है. So he saw my socks and he said, like, you can wear your footwear. And he took one more permission. Shall I look into your wallet? I said, absolutely, sir. So just checked in, and he said, from tomorrow onwards, you can join the Hubli branch and report it to the branch manager. He said, and he went back to his conference. I was like shocked. He said, like, tomorrow you can join. That means I am selected. But on what basis? Like, looking at somebody's socks and looking at somebody's wallet, what did you decide? So it was there in my mind for long duration, like almost 3-4 months. I had this doubt. After 3-4 months, we had to visit Hubli because we had completed our target, and there was a get together. In the evening, again, I happened to meet him, and I asked him, sir, it is bothering me like anything. 3-4 months, 2 questions. Like, can you please elaborate? Because I have given that SSB interview. Those questions did not bother me, but these 2 questions are bothering me. Looking at socks and looking at somebody's wallet, how did you make a point? His explanation was very simple. Praveen, I always look forward for 2 qualities. Okay, number 1 is discipline, number 2 is organized. These are the 2 important qualities I want it in my team. Discipline is something which you always carry inside. Okay, generally what we do is what we show outside is not completely disciplined. It is makeover. Discipline is something it always carry. It is not just a quality, it is a lifestyle. See, we can polish the footwear, but sometimes we wear the torn purana wala phata hua socks pehante na. Tomorrow once you go to any customer and the board written outside his cabin is like, remove your footwear and come inside. Agar tumhara like moje, like that is your socks, agar phata hua hai, company ka reputation jayega. You are not disciplined. That is number 1. And I said, like, how about the wallet, sir? Wallet, he said, like, it is like, it will identify me, like it will help me to identify the organized quality. Wallet is your personal belonging. If you are not properly organized in your personal things, you cannot be organized in your professional things. For example, our wallet is something, a place where we dump in so many unnecessary things, a ticket or something, we keep dumping it. So what he said is, when you cannot organize your own self, your own personal things, tomorrow I can see your workplace and your work attitude will be completely disturbed. See, that is his way of identifying candidates on these two qualities. You cannot just predict. See, this is what we call it as attitude, man. These qualities makes you. That's what. See, when it comes to a discipline, that's what I always insist you. When I tell you to submit it on time, no matter what, उससे पहले आप करो. Don't wait till 9:58. 10 o'clock submit करना है. Don't wait till 9:58, because there is a huge problem with the network for every one of us. Entire India is facing problem with the network. तो हमें मालूम है नेटवर्क का प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, एंड मोर ओवर यू विल बी अटेंडिंग लॉट ऑफ ऑनलाइन क्लासेस फ्रॉम द मॉर्निंग. बाय इवनिंग योर डेटा इज ड्राइड अप. मेक श्योर दैट 1 or 2 hours in advance submit whatever it is to be submitted. Otherwise, whatever you tell, it sounds like an excuse. Okay, maybe it is true, but people are not interested to listen to your excuses. That's what I always tell you. I don't look at performances in the beginning. What I look at is the approach and the attitude. अगर भेजने का approach and attitude है, then वो लोग भेजेंगे ही भेजेंगे. Okay, they don't wait till the last minute. But unfortunately, what has happened with us is, in our schools and colleges, we are trained and tuned our mindset so that last minute ही करना है. On the last day or date of paying the fees, we will be standing in the queue, taking the permission, everything. That we need to change. And otherwise, there are some other questions where, like, see how these other weird questions. 2 years back, one of the cement companies, I don't want to take the name of that employer, shortlisted 3 of your super seniors. Package was about 5 lakh rupees, and they had to go and give their personal round interview to one of the distributors where the HR was available. So these students have finished all their practices and all. They went, and I was there in the college campus training other students. They finished their interview, come back, and they gave me a call. Sir, आप कहाँ पर हो? आपसे immediately बात करना है. I said, I'm in the college. Sir, बात कर सकते हैं क्या? And I'm coming. So they were waiting in the parking lot. The moment I reached, they started bursting out like, इतना गुस्सा हुए थे वो 3 बंदे. Sir, how did they ask personal questions like this? ऐसा कैसे पूछ सकते हैं sir? What do they think about themselves, sir? ऐसा कैसे पूछेंगे? क्या हुआ बोलो तो सही. And they said, sir, they asked all personal questions, sir. There was no censored things. Like, sir, they asked about our sexual preferences. They asked like, are you gay? Do you have sex? Do you have girlfriend? ऐसा कैसे पूछ सकते हैं sir? Before some of you even become like stereotype, these are the word sex again is a taboo for our educated community. Just relax and have patience to understand the further things. This thing has asked to them, and that one of the student of mine, he asked like, अगर आपको पूछा जाता तो आप क्या करते sir? When it is asked to you, आप क्या करते? Like, what kind of a question? Sir, are you gay? आप क्या करते? See, I know my sexual preferences. If that was a question asked me, I would say no, I'm not gay. And when was the last time you had sex? That is my absolute personal thing, which I can disclose, I don't want to disclose. And I can very well deny saying that, I'm very sorry sir, that is very personal thing and I don't want to disclose it. Okay. Now I'll tell you. Now I'll tell you. I'll explain you on this, why it is asked. And that person, that one of the students is like, sir, below the belt ऐसे पूछ रहे sir, ethics नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है sir. Wait dear, wait. One more. Just don't behave as you have never spoken on this ever in your life. We have spoken. Within friends, हम लोग इससे भी बहुत बुरा बात किए. Now I'll tell you one thing, why that question might have been asked. See, they just wanted to know how do you react to that kind of a question. Because we have never prepared answering those kind of a questions. Because our mind is tuned for these kind of a questions. Tell about yourself, what are your weaknesses, tell about your strengths. Only this is prepared. Suddenly something out of the box it comes and you are disturbed. That shows how do you react. Okay. Now I'll tell you what might be the reason. Just imagine you are an employee, you have joined and you have reached a client's place. For some reason there is an argument between you and client, and the client loses his or her temper, starts bursting out all the anger and all these wrong words, slangs and gali galoch hua. Okay, and then at that moment how do I react? Okay, HR will not be always with you to identify your mindset and your approach and your the ability of understanding and being calm and all. Most of the time we are so impulsive because we have never exposed ourselves for these kind of a stress kind of a situation. Our upbringing is so pampered that we have never seen these kind of a situations. So they just wanted to check how do you react within the AC room during the interview when these kind of a questions are asked, and if I become disturbed and I don't properly answer, it is obvious that tomorrow in the work there will be huge pressure of targets and all, and here and there the conversation changes its path. I may put a resignation and jhagad kar aakar I have a quarrel with the customer and I can throw the resignation. You may leave the job, लेकिन reputation जाएगा कंपनी का ना. So my dear friends, have patience. Okay, more knowledge you have, equally have patience. Understand the question. Sometimes you don't have to answer all the questions. See, it is your preferences. What they have asked is your preferences. Even if you don't want to discuss anything on that, you can politely say, I'm very sorry, sir, I don't want to talk on this. Right? Otherwise, bursting out your anger or losing your temper doesn't make any sense. That just shows that you are not matured. You don't know how to handle these things. These are just a poster hai, trailer bhi nahi hai, picture abhi baki hai. There are so many things. Okay, that's what, my dear friends. You need to learn that openness of learning and openness of expressing. Also know the limits. Also that everything shows your attitude. Writing in the resume that I have a patience, okay, I understand the situation, adaptability, people oriented, itna likhna alag hota hai, and facing these kind of a questions and stress kind of a tricky questions, you need to be very, very diplomatic. You need to learn, like you need to understand one thing, what you should answer or what you should not answer. And they want you, and they'll be happy if you tell that I don't want to answer on that, because they want to know that where you can put a stop. Okay, that is maturity. Unfortunately, maturity doesn't come with the age. Okay, age, like by the virtue of age, like हम लोग we grow up, but maturity अपने आप आना पड़ेगा. It requires a lot of exposure in life where that gives you maturity. So I require you to be relaxed, understand, and answer. So these are the qualities tested. Now, before you go to your interview, plan yourself, prepare yourself, and you have to perform. What you should plan and all? Number one, be ready with the updated resume. Why the word updated? Every once in 3 or 4 months or 6 months, you have to keep updating your resumes so that new content can be added. So go with updated resumes. Have a small research done on the company and the profile what they are offering. The company and the profile, both. Before you apply, like the XYZ company has asked you to attend the interview tomorrow, so you should know about the company, what company is all, what is the market share, who is the CEO, where is the head office, and what kind of a business they are into, and what are their main competitors. This is at least you should know about it. And also the job profile, what role they are offering you. And that's what. Next thing is job roles and job requirements. So what skills they are expecting, what they are expecting you to work as. So उसके बारे में आपको idea होना चाहिए. Check your internet or network connection for online and telephonic round interviews. This is very, very, very important. My dear friends, at least for us, it is going to be a telephonic and internet like online interviews. When the interview is scheduled like 6 o'clock in the evening, you have a telephonic round. Make sure that you will be knowing at your area, your network connection, how the network connection is. You just cannot give an excuse to the HR saying that, sir, यहाँ पर network ठीक नहीं है. No. Make sure that whether it is 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers away from your home, network is properly available. Make sure that reach that place before that telephonic call. Attend to the telephonic interview. Make sure that the place where you are sitting should be calm and should not have any kind of a disturbance. Similarly, when it comes to your internet connections, so online interviews, you need to dress up properly. You need to sit. Make sure that background should not have any kind of noise and disturbance. Should not be sitting under the tree where the traffic and other disturbance are disturbing you. This is your responsibility. Keep your academic documents, photos and identity and address proof ready. So academic is two sets. You're not supposed to carry the original. Two sets of attested documents, 10th, 12th degree and your PG courses. So attested and keep it with yourself. Passport photos already discussed. Professional, almost plain background photos, keep at least 6 or 10 with you. Then Aadhaar card and identity PAN card. These two are enough, I guess. Why PAN card? Because once you join, your account will be opened, salary account. So for that, it is mandatory. Keep the photocopies of this, and as I said, maintain the file folder. Keep everything inside it. Prepare your script and practice. No matter how confident you are in your general conversation, but when it comes to interview, my dear friends, please trust me. I have 10 years of experience and I've seen lots and lots of students, those who are really confident, make a mistake when it comes to interview. Interview is totally altogether a different platform. There is huge pressure on you. There is a nervousness. There is expectation. Everything is may not make you to perform the best what you can. So for that, practice can help you, and for that you have to prepare your script. What I'll do is I'll share the questions, frequently asked questions. I've collected about 238 questions. I'll send it across to you. What you should do is pick up some 10-15 questions randomly, so that every aspect is covered about you, about your weakness, strength, college, other things like that. Pick up some 10-15 questions, prepare script pairwise. Request your friend, ask your pass on your question to your friend, so that person can ask questions to you. You can answer it back. If the question, if you ask your friend to give the feedback, if you don't sound confident and comfortable, then you have to re-prepare your script. Okay, when you cannot convince your own friend, how do you think that you can convince the HR? So prepare script. This is very much important. Attend the mock interviews to gain confidence. Otherwise, in the regular college and all, I used to conduct 2 or 3 mock interviews, because generally one interview runs for 8 or 10 minutes. Otherwise, now we shall see whether we can conduct online mock interviews. Otherwise, also, it is your responsibility, as on when you get time, request some of your well-wishers, teachers, friends, or me or somebody, and get your mock interview got done. At least some 5-6 interviews if you can give, then you will get a place where you can call it yourself as confident. Okay, mock always gives you confidence, and this is what I have said it in all my presentations. Practice is the key. Okay, and that practice makes you confident. So don't just think that without mock interviews also I can do. You can, definitely you can. Otherwise, it is my sincere suggestion, go with the practice. So that what happens in the practice, there might be some mistakes you may commit. Let that mistake happen with us in front of your friend, so that you can rectify them, and don't do any mistake when it comes to actual performances. Otherwise, your 1 or 2 silly mistakes may cost a job of 5 or 6 lakh package. Okay, plan, prepare, and perform. These are the things. Now, when it comes to interview, when it comes to when we have discussed group discussion, there were something do's and don'ts. Similarly, now after understanding what is group discussion types, what is interview, types of interviews, why and all, everything, what qualities, now it is a time for us to understand some do's and don'ts. These are things like do's, आपको करना ही है, and next slide will be don'ts, आपको avoid करना है. Let's start with do's. Reach the venue 10 minutes before. So if it is offline, you have to reach. Otherwise, make sure that you be online available 10 minutes prior to your interview. Reaching on time is also bad because you cannot completely concentrate on that. So it's always suggested 10 minutes before. Carry extra copies of resume. Should not just go with one copy. At least suggested go with 5 copies of printed copies of resume. Keep it in your file folder and take. And one more thing I forgot to tell you here about a resume also. When you carry resume, it should not be rolled, it should not be folded, not even the edges. Like, make sure that it is very proper. Should not hold the resume in your hand and walk inside. It should be always carried in the file folder. Folded resume or crushed resume or rolled resume is like, it is your representation, and if you go with rolled, crushed or folded, that shows that you are not disciplined. Okay, so be very careful. Do not make this mistake of rolling resume, and make sure that you sign and put the date on that. Can we please put the mic on the hold? Just check whose mic is on. Thank you. Now, wear formals. When it comes to interview, don't even think of wearing just a blazer on the jeans pant. Wearing blazer on the jeans pant doesn't make it look formal. Okay. When like what all we can include in formal dress, here is a list. Your college uniform for both boys and girls, it is a formal for you. But blazer, when you're wearing like your college uniform, do not wear sandals. Like footwear should be shoes, and for you and girls, you have formal shoes which suits with your blazer. Please maintain that. Now, college uniform can be your formal dress. Otherwise, for ladies or girls, either salwar kameez is also referred as in an Indian context is referred as a formal dress. Should be simple and properly ironed, and western formal wear what you will be having. So that is for ladies. For gents, light and sober colored shirts, white blue looks good, and dark trousers. Okay, do not reverse it. Preferably go with the lighter color shades of shirts and darker shades of trousers. Dark gray and dark blue looks good. If black you prefer for trouser, that is okay. Suits look best in gray and blue shades, but otherwise you already have invested on your college uniform. Go with those shades of blazers and suit. One more thing, the suit and blazer are not our actual cloth systems. So we have borrowed it from Western countries where 6 to 8 months they have winter season. So for them they need any cloth which keeps them warm. Otherwise the place where we stay, where generally in summer and other times we have a very short winter and short rainy season. Otherwise our summer is prolonged summer, and 35, 38, 40 degree temperature we generally have. So don't be uncomfortable wearing a suit or blazer. Even a formal shirt is also fine. There is no compulsion that you should wear a tie. Otherwise it looks good if you want to wear. If you want to wear a tie, it should go in contrast with what shirt, and it should go on complement with what your trouser is like. It should not like just match with your shirt and should not go off like match with your trouser. Make sure have a proper selection of tie and learn putting knot properly. Okay, sometimes I've seen, and length of the tie should be very appropriate. Okay, and the knot of the tie should be very appropriate. Carry a handkerchief, and preferably white in color. Now next comes with footwear. Well polished black or brown footwears are suggested, and it comes to wearing socks. It should always match with formal dress code is. It always should match with the trouser color. And belt is an accessory. Wearing belt is not compulsory, but in our context the mindset is, if you wear properly dressed, you are wearing a tie but you don't wear a belt, people look at you like, hey, bhool gaye, he has forgotten wearing a belt. Belt is only worn when my pant is not properly fitting in. But otherwise it is a mindset. If at all you want to wear, already you have a collection of belts. Just make sure that brown color footwear you're wearing, brown color belt you just have to go with, and black color, इतना तो कर लो. Then light makeup. My makeup doesn't only mean for girls. My makeup is like a cream and a powder. What you apply is always good before you enter your interview venue. It is not to impress someone. It is to present yourself in a nice way. Mostly you have traveled in a bus or something. You need to properly groom your hair and use a decent fragrance perfume. There are some people like me. I sweat a lot, so I always have an issue of that bad odor because sweat is order free. For your information, sweat is order free. When you have noticed this during when you are playing basketball or something or any game, you're sweating so heavily. Then you're not like smelling. But the moment you sit outside for 5 minutes, then your sweat starts smelling bad. The bacteria sit on your sweat, makes it create that odor, bad odor. It's always suggested to carry light odor perfume or a deo spray. Make sure that you are not disturbance to anybody. Rather, like either with a bad smell or with a very strong fragrance of a perfume. Very, very mild and gentle fragrance is suggested. Your hair, both ladies and gents, groom your hair well. Don't try any new hairstyle on that day. Go with your regular hairstyle where you are comfortable. Maintain neat and well polished nail. If you don't apply any nail polishes, make sure that it is well polished, because these are the few things which is visible. Okay, so make it keep it neat, and if you prefer polishing it, polish it well. Carry a pen and pad. Okay, like when you walk inside, generally you come with a bag or something in your hand, like a small book or diary. You just have to carry, and always it is suggested not only for interviews, for your upcoming henceforth. It make a note that whether you're wearing jeans, t-shirt, anything what you're wearing, carry a pen. At least keep it in your pocket. That's something which is very, very essential, especially when you're walking into bank. You're supposed to carry a pen. And when it is interview, make sure that carry a pen, not only just which should look good, need not be any branded one. It can be a 3 rupees, 2 rupees use and throw pen is also fine. A pen which can write, carry that. Carry a file folder and that can hold your documents and resume. Already said, do maintain. Like invest some 50 rupees to purchase that file folder so that your photos, your resumes, your documents, everything will fit in. Enter the room with the confidence and the smile on the face. This is very important. Okay, no matter like maintaining smile on the face, it requires loads and loads of practice, and with that practice you get that confidence. That's what, the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you wish, that's what the confidence is required. Be calm, listen carefully, and answer properly. Generally what happens is when you're sitting outside and you're waiting, your friend come outside from the interview. Moment what he comes or she comes, we run to that person and ask, tell me what all questions they have asked, like what answers you have given. Don't do that. That was his or her interview. Your interview will be a different one. Okay, the HR sitting inside is not a stupid person who will ask the same question to all 100 candidates. That person will change. That person will change the pattern of the questions or the question format. The way you walk in, the way you submit the resume, and the mistakes you have done in the resume, everything will, like, don't be prejudiced that the same thing will be asked. So you are in the nervousness and all, like lot of pressure. You want this job, the package is good, so you want this by any condition, at any condition. So do not walk inside with that pressure. You have to come, sit, relax. Okay. What you should do is, one more thing I have forgot to mention here is, like, always when you walk into the interview venue, in your bag, I suggest you to carry a bag. In your bag, keep a water bottle, a biscuit bundle, a biscuit packet, and sometimes if you like chocolates, you can keep. Okay. Why? It is not always you are asked to sit outside the interview hall and immediately sent inside. Sometimes 1 or 2 hours you are asked to wait. And you, because of your interview and all, morning you did not have your breakfast properly. By the time you have reached, like, you are under the nervousness, you did not feel hungry at home. But by the time you have reached and you are waiting, it's been 1.5 hours. You are hungry now. Now you have two options. One, sit hungry Otherwise just walk out and go to the cafeteria and eat something and come back. Now think that you have decided the second option and you just walked out and having something. Meantime, your name is called and you're gone. You're missed out. So better keep a biscuit packet and eat, drink, keep it inside. Don't throw the wrapper here and there. Just keep it with you. And when your name is called, just take a water bottle, sip a water, and go inside. Generally, in the nervousness, we feel the dry tongue. Okay, that is generally happens. Everyone it happens. So little water will definitely help you. Okay, it will not allow you to dehydrate. So sit calm. Second, listen carefully. No matter what question they ask. Like first, I always see some students who are so impatient to answer that they don't listen to the question properly. So first listen to the question completely, then answer. Then answer properly. If you don't know the answer, it is always good to say, I don't know, sir. Instead of bluffing things and saying something, some wrong information, it is always good. If you listen it to carefully, then you can decide whether to answer or not. Okay? Professional and honest and say no when you don't know. This is what. You need to be professional in answering and you should tell no when you don't know. Learning that assertive quality you have to work on, and that assertive quality is very much essential quality. Have some research done on that, what is assertive quality and how it is to be developed. Work on that. Okay. And finally, maintain proper body language. Okay, how to walk, how to sit. Not only here, like especially this is very important thing, my dear friends. When you sit outside, okay, you're waiting. It's been 1.5 hours. Your turn is not come. You have others who are not giving interview today. They are just walking in the corridor. They come, they fall on you, they pull your shirts, drag your bag, everything. This is what we generally do in your college days. But avoid all these nonsense things during your interview, because as I said, there will be one person who will be having a watch on you. Okay? So the way you sit outside, the way you sit inside, that matters a lot. So your proper body language, proper gesture, proper facial expression, everything. That what we shall do is in the next session, we have decided to have a session on complete body language. So we shall discuss in detail on that day after tomorrow. Okay. So these are the components which come under do's. Now I'll take you to the don'ts. Avoid these. Number 1, do not enter the room without permission. Whether you're from English medium or Kannada medium, okay. In our childhood school days, we have been taught on this, that before enter school or any premises, take the permission and go. Okay, this is known to everyone. What happens is, when we are under huge pressure and we will be in last minute preparation is going on. I'm preparing on my self introduction, I'm preparing on other question, everything. The last minute preparation is going on. With that mind, occupied mind, I may forget taking permission. So never do this mistake. This is like blunder. Okay, the door, just peep inside, take the permission. If the HR is on the telephone or something, call or something, just hold. Then when they say yes, come inside, walk. Okay, don't slam the door while coming or while going. Make sure that it is properly shut. Now you walk and come. Now there is a chair in front of the table. HR is sitting. You come and say good morning sir and hand over your resume. This is the procedure. You walk, stand, say good morning, good afternoon, or hand over the resume. Sir, this is my resume. Or madam, this is my resume. Fine. Now there is a chair. I see some of these candidates, they're so impatient that they ask a permission that, sir, may I sit? Generally, 80% of the HR says, okay, sit. But there are some 20% of HRs, including me, I feel irritated. The chair is meant for you. You have given me a resume. Now I am glancing, having a glance on your resume. That may take 10 or 15 seconds. Don't you have a patience of 10-15 seconds to stand and wait? When somebody tells me like this, sir, shall I sit? Then I say, you have given me option now. Shall I sit? I say no. I make that candidate stand for 10 minutes and give his or her interview. That is my way. Because you have asked. Because otherwise, I would offer you. You are the one who walked in. You are the one who gave me the resume. I am looking at your resume. for a minute, not even for a minute, just 10 or 15 seconds. Otherwise, immediately what happens, HR will offer you to sit. Have that patience. Okay. Never fold your resume and carry. That already have discussed. Don't do that. Never. That is a very bad way of representing yourself. Don't keep your bag on the table. As I said, you will be carrying a bag. Don't avoid carrying plastic polythene bags and all. Carry your bag, either a handbag or a shoulder bag, whatever you have, backpack or something. Generally, what we do is we come and while sitting, don't drag the chair. Pull, push, no. Lift and keep it back. Once you sit, either keep it on your lap or on either side of you, on the right or left side. Keep it. Don't keep it on the table. Right now, that table belongs to HR. So that is his or her property. Don't occupy that. Okay, keep it. And also you should know that the bag what you are carrying, in which section of the bag what you have kept. When it is asked like, Praveen, take the pen and do calculate, pick up the book or diary, then you should not take the bag and start searching it. No. You should know if it has got 4 compartments, you should know which section you have kept that. You should be very so before enter your interview, you should know your resume, you should know yourself, you should know your bag. Don't drag the chair and don't lean on the table. I said don't drag the chair, lean on the table. Keep a proper distance. Sit straight. Don't talk negative about your institution or college. This is very important. There are some chances where they provoke you to talk about your college. Especially they ask you to highlight your negative aspect of your college. And sometimes we'll be we'll be waiting for that platform. Somebody is provoking me and somebody is asking me. When we get an audience to listen to our sad story about the college, we start omitting everything. Don't do that mistake. You know how it is concluded? Very simple. You are in this college for 2 years and this college is helping you to get this job. And in front of that HR who is very unknown and within 2 or 3 minutes you are ready to disclose all the weaknesses about your college. It is obvious that tomorrow you will talk negative about this company to somebody else. Don't do that. Never argue with an interviewer. See, argument is to some extent where you are trying to convince that person. Is like he says no and you try to, yes sir, I have done it. That is okay. A professional argument is okay. But never ever drag argument that you are wrong, I am wrong. No. Sometimes what HR wants to know that to what extent you drag your conversation. So if that is the case, if you realize that this is somewhere heading into that argument, just lay back your weapons and say, done sir, that's okay, I think I am wrong, let me go back and let me check on this. Okay, accept, don't argue. Don't bluff. This is something serious crime in the interview. The person who is taking interviews might have definitely done the similar courses 5 or 10 years back and already done working 5-10 years and seen candidates like you at least 5 or 10,000. So immediately they catch hold of your bluffs. Don't ever do that. Don't give any excuses or reasons. This is I personally hate this. Okay. Whatever reasons you give or excuses you give may be genuine, but that is meaningless. No, their perception. While getting job, when you can give me 2-3 reasons, tomorrow once you get job, you flood your reasons. Okay, that is what. Very simple. They don't expect all these things. They nahi to nahi. Not done is not done. Why not done? Ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya. That's immaterial. That's what I always insist on this particular thing. Maybe it is genuine. I understand as a personally as a Praveen, as a person. Personally, I can understand. But when it comes to some task, no excuses. Don't be blank. Try to answer. Some questions are so it's like a bounce. No, you have not even understood the questions. If you don't understand the question, don't sit blank. Okay, don't give a blank body language and blank face. Look at some corner of the room. Rather, just seek once again, seek the permission of the HR to repeat that question once again so that you can understand. Try answering. Try make an attempt of answering it. Okay. Don't request permission to speak in local language. This is for some of our candidates who definitely do this because their spoken ability is poor. They cannot make sentences. What do? Is they urge this request. They say, sir, please, can I speak in Kannada? Can I speak in Hindi? No, this is something good. Now I'll tell you one thing. When you give excuses, excuses and local language together, I club and I give example. I have seen a lot of candidates who come and tell me that, like, when I ask, looking at their communication and it's very clear that they can't speak good English, a decent English, and they write their skill that communication skills. And I was like, your English is not good. Why should I give you job? No, what they answer, sir, I will improve. Madam, I will improve. No, simple thing. Last 24 years, when you cannot improve, how can you improve in next 1 or 2 months? No, their answer is, then improve and come. Very simple. See, when I know that product is damaged, why should I take it, man? When there are other candidates, other products which are good, why should I take you? You have given these excuses. Like, you knew that in the interview, I have to speak English. In your school days only, somebody have come and told you that English will be important for you in your future days. 5-10 years we have given these excuses, and even in the interview, if you tell you that, like, my English is not good, when are you going to prepare? After you, do you think 24 years you have not done it, now you got a job and you do things? See, you are putting some efforts, that I can clearly see. You have started preparing, working on your resume, you have started working on your aptitude, you have started working on your group discussion topics. Okay, this is what you have started working on. Now you are putting day in, day out, extra time and all, you are putting efforts. You know why? To get a job. Do you think that the same amount of extra effort you will be putting once you get the job also? No, you will not. Certainly, because you already got the job. Why should I do it? I don't need. But I sincerely suggest continue this preparation of practicing what you are doing for at least next 6 months after getting job also. Who knows, the job what you got is suitable for you, or you are suitable for that job or not. Maybe after 1 or 2 months, either you will leave the job or company will throw you out. Then you have to go to other company. Then you have to start from ABCD, aptitude, group discussion, everything. That's what it is my sincere suggestion, my dear friends. After getting job also, because we will not be knowing that whether this job suits me or not, it at least takes 6 months. Keep in touch with your group discussion preparation, knowledge upgradation, aptitude preparation, everything, keep it on. Okay, no excuses. Speaking local language in interview, not suggested. Don't be irrelevant. That is like, be specific. Don't talk anything which is not relevant to that topic. Don't drag and beat around the bush. Avoid carrying mobile phones in pocket. See, we are into the era of mobile phone, and I can tell you that mobile has become inevitable part of you, and we have become so important for few people. That's what we cannot avoid. We cannot put the mobile phone switch off. If I switch off the phone, India's growth will stop, world will collapse, everything will happen. I understand, but it is my sincere request, my dear friends. So what happens? Most of you tell that, sir, we'll keep it in silent mode. Silent is like vibration. Think that you have put your mobile phone in your pocket and it is in silent mode. Obviously, we will be having that idiot friend of ours who doesn't care where you are sitting, whether you are sitting in examination, whether you are sitting in an interview hall, whether you are sitting in a mandir, whether you are sitting in a toilet. That person will call you until you receive his or her call. Okay, think that person is outside the gate and he wants you to go and meet that person, and that person is calling again and again. Repeatedly that person is calling, and now the phone is in your pocket, it is in vibration. Definitely the voice is like that, audio is not heard, but vibration, that vibration can be heard, and also that vibration irritates you so that, and think that on that moment when that your friend is calling, you are at that one tricky question where your HR wants to test your presence of mind, and your entire focus is on your mobile phone. We can avoid that. Put your mobile phone into that switch off mode for 15 minutes. World is not going to miss you than that 15 minutes, because you are at the most important task of your life. Okay, and sometimes if you keep the mobile in silent mode, and it is seen in your college, right? You keep your bag in the table and vibration mode, and entire bench and entire table starts vibrating. Avoid these mistakes. Avoid casual wear and avoid casual behavior. So that's what I said. Wearing blazer on the jeans will not make it look formal. It is semi-casual, and footwears and all. wear casual dress, like wear dress when you are in the casual mode, but it is a official and a formal platform where it is suggested to wear formal dress. Also avoid your casual behavior both inside as well as outside the waiting area. So you are being tested, so your one wrong move will be very what I can say, damaging your all performances. So be very careful. These are the don'ts. So before we close the session, here is some important questions which I can say is frequently asked questions. What kind of questions they may ask? So here are some. One, obviously tell about yourself. 80% of the time, this will be your first question. Tell about yourself. So you know what to be told. 1.5 hour session we have done on this. Talk about your strengths. Okay, highlight for your strengths. What relevant skills you have developed for this particular role, what skills. So what tell about yourself is everything you have covered. Again they want to discuss on like your strengths, particularly you have to give explanation on your strengths, and skills you have to tell. How do you handle conflicts when you are at some situation and there is a conflict going on? How do you handle? Okay, what are your weaknesses? Here is one important thing. Weaknesses, it is not written in your resume, it is not said in your self-introduction, but it will be asked in interview and you have to answer it. There are some three types of answers we come across. Number one, a person says, I don't want to reveal my weaknesses to you, I'm sorry. Okay, this is a blunt and arrogant answer, and I know what is the result. Even the HR says, get out. You cannot deny answering this. Second, sir, I don't have any weaknesses. I think I don't have any weaknesses. Even Bhagwan says has got weaknesses, and these people are like above Bhagwan and beyond Bhagwan. So there is something we need to understand, my dear friends. When we have strengths, that is the best qualities, I can do better. There has to be some limitations which I can't do. And by now, HR got to know, looking at your resume, looking at your group discussion, and looking at your performances, they got to know that what you cannot do, right? It is always like they just want to confession from yourself, like this one. Now, why this is required? Like sometimes people narrate their confidence like their weaknesses so damaging way that their entire rest thing is gone. So why it is required and how it is to be narrated. Let us understand why it is required. See, when we have strengths, some 4 or 5 strengths, so the HR got to know that this candidate has got these qualities. So I will send you to the team leader saying that this gentleman or lady has got these features. These are the qualities of her. So that is the best quality. Now think that your weakness is short temper, that is losing temper, lack of patience, being impulsive. Okay, these all are same. I'm impulsive, I cannot have patience, and I immediately react. I don't reveal this to HR, and still based just on your strength, if I send you to workplace and looking at your other qualities, your team leader decided to put you to customer handling task. When it is customer handling, customers come with a different mindset and different background. Think that one customer comes with a very angry mood and that person starts bursting on you, and as your weakness is you're impulsive, immediately react, jhagada ho jayega. Narrating weaknesses will help the HR to understand whether you should be taken or not. If it is like, if you're taken, where to be placed and how you're supposed to be groomed on your weaknesses. So this is important. And narrating also, you need to be very careful, like your weaknesses, you need to work on yourself, you need to be very diplomatic in answering this. Now right now I'm not tell you like how I cannot give you the example of narrating weaknesses, because I'm sure tomorrow when I start taking your mock interview, you will answer the same thing back to me. So I just want to hear it from you. So prepare your weaknesses and let me know whether it sounds like a weaknesses or not. I'll help you out. How do you manage your criticism? Criticism is something facing negative feedback. Okay, if somebody tells you that you're bad, your work is not good or something, how do you handle it? That is criticism. So handling criticism and handling conflicts are part of your work life. That's what they want to know. What has been your greatest failure and how did you come out of it? Again, failure does not mean that exam failure. Any task which you could not perform, how did you come out of it? Okay, maybe a personal loss, maybe either of a parent is lost, a business loss. How did you come out of it? Because they want to know. Tomorrow, once you start working, my dear friends, it's not all the time the work goes in a positive way and gets completed. There are a lot of hiccups. So when your project may not go in the direction where you have planned. So it is going on the other direction and it is on the loss side. So then how do you motivate yourself? How do you manage yourself and how do you come out of it? This is what they want to know. What motivates you? They just want to know whether the motivation factor is you or external factor. If it is external factor, then every time you are feeling low, you want somebody to come and tell you, don't worry, Praveen is with you, that person is with you, chalo koi baat nahi, aage badho. Nahi, aisa nahi hoga. You have to be your own motivation. No, again, this helps you. In your interview, think that you are well prepared, okay? Walk very confidently, given 2-3 answer very correctly, okay? This is what has happened. Your confidence level is here now. Next, back-to-back 2 questions could not answer. Definitely, the confidence comes down. Now the HR just wants to know that from here, how do you boost up your confidence? If you are your own motivation, then you can tell yourself always, that's okay. Out of 10, I have not answered 2 questions. That doesn't mean that I cannot answer rest. Let me just listen to other question. These 2 things have gone. मैंने इसके ऊपर नहीं किया था. You can confess. I'm very sorry, sir. I don't know on these, but definitely once I'm out, I will have clarification done on that. I will just make sure that I will learn these 2 things. Okay. Then you listen to the next question and answer. Your confidence is coming back. That is what your motivation. Similarly at workplace, things may not go as you plan. That's what motivation. What motivates you? Few people tell money motivates. Few people tell promotion motivates. Few people tell that appreciation motivates. They just want to know what motivates you. What is your dream job? This is one common question. Now you need to be very careful answering. Now you are giving an interview to one company and one job profile, particular job profile. You should not narrate other job profile as your dream job. Then that fellow will say tomorrow when you get a chance to give an interview, you will leave this job and go. Very careful. You have to, that's what I tell you na. Prepare your script according to the company and the expectation of the company so that your answers can be acceptable. Why do you think you are eligible for this role? That is another question of asking, why should I give you a job? So if you tell that I am better than others, that's a wrong thing because everybody have got their own strengths. So you have to tell about your qualification, you have to tell about your skills and strengths. Okay, you have to make sure how you can that is objective of you are making HR understand that what qualities and what skills you have, how it is related to the job profile. Talk on core subjects. There will be 1 or 2 questions. Definitely 1 or 2 or 3 questions will be asked on your core subject specializations. Be prepared on that. And talk on these general awareness questions. These in the sense who is the president, what are the some cabinet secretary, cabinet minister names, capital states, capital place currencies, some general. There's one more thing you need to understand. I've seen 80% of the students, they tell this vague answer. I'm sorry, sir, I'm very poor at general awareness or general knowledge. I don't know any answers, sir, with sarcastic smile on their face. Please avoid this. This is very stupid. So another 30-40 days, my dear friends. At least basic thing like how many states, how many districts are there in Karnataka, who is a minister, main profiles, at least main profiles. Then major country president names, capital cities. Something at least you should know this. These are the common. They just want to know how you're connected. Okay. What is your salary expectation? Nowadays, the salary package is revealed in advance, so don't have to worry about this. Otherwise, earlier days, based on your performance, based on your experience, the salary would be different. So if in case somebody asks you, what is your salary expectation? Answer would be as per the industry standard. Okay. Why should I hire you? That's what I said, you are eligible for the job. Why should I hire you? Talk about your qualification, talk about your strengths, and talk about your skills. Okay, these are the FAQs. And finally, are there any questions for us? So do you have any questions? So generally this question is asked. Don't ask like, sir, what kind of incentives I'll get. Maybe you can ask, but don't only focus on money. Okay, HRs like you showing some qualities of learning. Maybe your questions like, what kind of a training programs we get, what will be the duration of training programs, are there any kind of a certification courses can be provided by the company during the training period, are there any internal job posting where I can get to know other profiles of job as well, these kind of a questions. Okay, just don't be only focused on money. Otherwise any kind of a questions are welcome. Otherwise if you don't have any questions also, you can say, no sir, I don't have any questions, or madam, I don't have any questions. Okay, I think we have covered most of the things about group discussion, interviews, and resume building, self-introduction. Now whatever is left can be tested only during the interviews. Okay, so what I tell you, my dear friends, is work on all these aspects. Come back to me if at all you have any doubts. Talk to me, call me, message me, get yourself clarified. What I can tell you is practice is the key. Practice well. Okay, may the deserved get selected. That's what I love about corporate. Here there is no something called as a reservation or something. The deserved will be selected, and may the deserved get selected.